Hello, lovely people. Today has been a very interesting day.
Today has been loud and
going by like
going
that.
fast. I had a doctor's appointment, and then I left at 8 o'clock this morning, but I didn't get home until noon.
Yeah, and then I was taking some pictures, and so I was toasting up my lovingly saved mushroom stems, and I caught them on fire in the oven.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
So that meant every
The fire
alarm in the house went off, and I couldn't silence it because they're those smart ones, and if there's a certain amount of smoke, they won't let you silence them. And so then I was dragging every fan I could find out, trying to move it away from there. And
it's been an exciting day. How has your day been? Because I must say, because I was like, yeah, I'm just going to get on here and I'm going to make some sort of bean loaf. Let's get crazy. And now I'm like, maybe I should take a nap instead. No, just kidding. We're going to do this. But just know that sometimes things don't go. Yeah, I am having an alarming day. Exactly.
I mean, the good thing is I just installed a new alarm to replace one of them that was out of date, and now we know it works too. So,
woohoo! Exciting things to find out. So if I seem or we seem a little discombobulated, we are. So there. So this is the third and the end of the first week of the Potions and Powders Lives, where I'm showing you how to utilize some of the spices or mixes or sauces that are in the Potions and Powders ebook, which you can pre-order now down below. If you get this in time, you can get 25% off. At least by the time it releases, it will not be on sale anymore. So if you're thinking about it, go ahead and do it. If you have questions about the book, you can ask us while we're doing things. Mm-hmm. And it's so good to see everybody. Apple's here, Annette's here, back. And our friend from Russia is here, and I do not know how to pronounce that, so I'm so sorry. Apple says her day's been a lot less stressful. Excellent.
That's good.
Jackie's here, Susan, Patsy, Jill, Ron, and a bunch more of you guys who are being very quiet. Melissa is one of those. Now she's no longer being quiet. And you too can say hello. Does it feel like fall where you are? Oh, it's Canadian Thanksgiving this weekend, which is not a big thing in this country. Isn't it a big thing? I forget it every year, which is a me problem. And
we should really put that on the calendar.
I know. I have holidays come up, but I think they just do the U.S. ones.
Oh, yeah.
And I need to do the U.S. and Canada ones. So I apologize to all of you that I'm having class on Saturday. But as always, it'll be recorded. Mm-hmm. And Apple says, nope, not big at all. Jeremy says, hi. Jeremy, why are you not here to make this for me? That's what I want to know. So I was looking in the revised vegan slow cooker to kind of, and Annette says, no, it's not a big thing. I'm not doing anything special. Okay, awesome. So I feel less horrible for getting Canadian Thanksgiving. Elizabeth says it's 85 in Texas. Other Elizabeth is here as well. Ooh, Joanne says it was 43 degrees this morning in Columbus. Excellent. I've been able to have the house open. Which is good for a lot of reasons.
Yeah.
We have clear story windows, so the top of our house kind of goes up into a point. So literally all the smoke trapped up here from the whole area.
Yeah, all centered on the one fire alarm, and it was like, get out, get out, get out.
That's awesome. Okay.
It's kind of chilly here, actually, to me. I'm standing here thinking maybe I should have put sweatpants on. But
oh, no. I'm just like, I don't know. When I get discombobulated, I feel like my temperature goes up even more.
Yeah.
But I did sleep lovely last night because it did
Good.
stay cold and I had the windows cracked a little bit.
It was very cold last night.
And Lydia says hi, and Carlene says, I pre-ordered mine, looking forward to get it. The pharmacist in me loves the title. Oh, that's awesome. I appreciate that. So what I do in class a lot of the times is I go, hey, let's make some stuff, and we make it. That's what we're doing tonight. So what does that mean? That means by the end of this, when I taste it, I will tell you how I will change it. It also means when this, yeah, she's going to write it down for me, because sometimes the AI can't just pull out everything, because I will adjust a lot of times. It also means that when the recipe finally makes it to the blog, it will be all smoothed out or anything like that. I will probably be putting this recipe, if all goes as planned and it's good, up on the pre-order site. So you guys will get that. Elizabeth says, I'm excited to see this recipe made. Me too, Elizabeth. So when I'm starting something, I usually go back because I've written a lot of recipes. So if you haven't written a lot of recipes, you might not go, oh, let me grab my book where I made a whatever and kind of look at it. But you can look on the internet or look at some of your favorite cookbooks just to get some general ideas. So the Atomic Pecan Loaf from here is really good.
It is. It's super nice.
This isn't going to be a one-to-one because we're not going to use nuts. And we're going to change the flavor profile a little bit. We will be using beans. We will be using quinoa. We will be using probably some rolled oats or potato flakes, or combine probably oats because I think that'll work better. And then I'll look at all this stuff, and I didn't even start to pull out the topping ingredients because disaster struck. So will you open up this lovely can of black beans? These could be kidney beans. I also have some lentils, and usually we make lentil loaf. Oh no, Elizabeth. Jackie says, will this ever be available as a physical book? There is a way you can make it into a physical book, but I will never be selling a physical book, especially with how tariffs are going and shipping prices are so volatile. So I could order a bunch of stuff a year in advance. It's going to cost way more, and I still could lose money. So that's really one of the main reasons. But what you can do is get the ebook, print it out, double-sided on your home printer, or ask a friend to do it for you. Take it to Staples, and for $5 to $10, they will spiral bind it for you. John says, I miss looking at your Breville oven. It's a seasonal change, so we'll see what happens. But yeah, so you can print it out. Even though it's an ebook, you can still print it out physically.
Making a mess.
Oh, I wasn't going to have you drain that, but...
Oh, I thought you said to drain it.
No, I said open it.
Oh. Well.
I said I might have you drain something.
I assumed it was that.
We'll see how it goes.
Sorry.
It's okay. So let's go back here. Elizabeth says, I got in a car accident yesterday. My neck hurts, but otherwise I'm okay. CT scan shows no fracture. Aw, I'm so sorry.
That sucks.
I'm so sorry. Be sure to take good care of it for sure. And TS says, watching from Southern California, was at the vet with my 2-year-old cat, Dobby.
Oh, I love that.
Oh, he has cat stomitis. It might need 6 teeth pulled next week. Oh, I'm so sorry. You know, they're worth every effort and penny that we put into them. But
it's true.
It's hard, and it's hard to see them uncomfortable, really. And hello, Miss Roxy. No printer and no internet. You can print stuff at the library. I would ask a friend or relative. You can get it printed at Staples, but they're going to charge you like $30 to do it.
It depends on how many pages it is.
So, and we don't know yet.
More than that.
So, oh, Shelley, I'm so glad you like that. Yeah, I know. Right now, just with tariffs and things, I just already, when I do a paperback book with a publisher, I make $1 per copy sold out of that $20 to $25. And I put hundreds of hours into it. So one of the reasons I'm doing ebooks is because I like to do crazy things like pay my mortgage, right? Have electricity so we can go live. So it's a really big gamble. So one of the things is when you go with a publishing company like Page Street that I went with, they take care of that risk and they take that risk. But then they also get the payoff. Mm-hmm. And so that's why a lot of your favorite authors are doing more ebooks, because we can charge still a fair price for them. Because if I actually had to go and get that printed and shipped to me and then shipped to you, that's a lot of money. So realize the reason maybe Page Street Publishing can charge $25 to $30 is they're buying 10,000 to 50,000 copies at a time and getting a discount and things like that. So I can even show you guys, most of you guys have seen this, but like with the Ninja Creamy book, this is what I'm talking about when I'm talking about printing them out. And you could even go in your Buy Nothing group or neighborhood group and ask if someone would print something out for you double-sided. It doesn't need to be on the fanciest of paper. You don't need this to be glossy wonderful. Mm-hmm. And so this is what they do. So there's like a little plastic piece on the front, and then there's a harder piece on the back, and then they poke the holes and spiral bound it.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, Lisa says her library's 10 cents a page. That's pretty good. I was even going to have Staples printed and bind one for me, and it was going to be like $50.
And that was just for one that's not even that big. This one's going to have so many more pages than that.
I'm trying to fix some things. So that's also what's making my brain hurt, is instead of having a page for every single spice blend, I'm trying to group them so we can do some things together, like meaty spice blends and blah, blah, blah.
Yeah. Also, the other thing is, when you do your own book like this, you aren't under the constraints of what they want. So you can put crazy recipes in there, and you don't have them going, well, I don't think this is going to be very popular, so we're going to take that out. They don't know the audience. They really have no clue. They just look at a title and go, nobody's going to like that.
Well, and they do have experience. However, with our audience, it's kind of special. It's a small thing. So I remember when I did the vegan slow cooker, I said I'd love to put in no oil options. They wouldn't let me. They're like, oh, olive oil's healthy. That's ridiculous. Mm-hmm. So when I got to do the revised edition, I was able to put in options. That's why there are options in all of my books, but I had to fight really hard, and there were things they would take out. Mm-hmm. So it's a lot of effort to do it on my own, but then I have testers and people editing and doing different things. And even when you have the same system a publishing house uses, things slip through. It's just the nature of the beast. It was possible to print stuff when you were working. Do you have a friend who's still working there? That's what I would ask. Hey, Jessica. And Joanne, that's a really good thing too. Yeah, I do. So I have 2 files that I'll put up. So remember, you're pre-ordering, so this won't be available to download till October 31st. But I'll have one with full color photos, because you can do what I just showed you. One that's just no photos, and you could just print it out. And you could literally, if you wanted to, you could just get one of those paper, like report binders, mm-hmm. or something like that too.
Yeah.
And Beck says, I think you should get a lot more than $1 per book. Yeah. Well, the revolt is that people are doing self-published books, yeah. and ebooks. And I know it's hard for a lot of people to transition over, but I just realized by me doing an ebook, I'm not trying to make you use your phone or your iPad or anything like that. Though the bonus is if it's on your phone and you're just walking around, you're like, oh, I really want to make that crazy onion soup mix that Kathy made. You can pull it up on your phone, grab some ingredients on your way home. So I think there are some pluses to have that.
Yeah.
Hey, Nancy, it's good to see you. We need to hang out. Nancy is a neighbor. It is very unfair to authors. In a way, I will say this, because obviously I have feels, and you kind of have to fight for what you do. Like my first book, they said, oh, we don't do ebooks. Because I'm like, why isn't an ebook in the contract? Oh, we don't do ebooks. And I'm like, I'm in the tech field. We need to put something in. Oh, well, we're not going to do them. That's where I don't get a lot now, but that's where my sales from the vegan slow cooker come from, mostly right now. Mm-hmm. And I asked to put an elevator in, meaning it would sell X amount of books and then it would go up 2%. So like on that one, on the original vegan slow cooker, I think I make 80 cents a book.
Yeah. And
the first 8,000 or 9,000, I made 60 cents a book. And that sold probably 125,000 copies, something like that.
From then to now, yeah.
Yeah. And I think I've sold over like 200 and some. I haven't added it all up because it doesn't really matter. Like I got a royalty statement, so you get them twice a year. So one of the books, Freya's over there just wandering around, and I'm just like, are you getting ready to knock things over? What's going on?
She's learned to do this a little bit.
Elizabeth says, hey Freya. Auntie Elizabeth says hello.
Where you going?
Yeah, and it's just, it's hard. It's hard, and people work really, really hard. So, and you don't make a lot of money. And then there's always I don't know. They're always like, no, I want you to pull the first 5 recipes they should make and put in the front. And that's why sometimes you can't find it in the real place because someone made me do it. Now, on my ebooks, you can blame me. If you don't like how it's organized, it's my fault. But I try to listen to feedback from everybody as it goes along, so it helps. Kathy says I have an Epson EcoSmart printer, so the ink is dirt cheap. And the printer wasn't expensive at Costco.
That's what my parents went with.
And you know what? Another thing is to look at your Buy Nothing group, your local Facebook group or something like that, and even just say, hey, I don't have a printer. Does anyone have a printer they're not using? And you might be able to just buy the ink for it. Because a lot of times people just go, oh, the ink's gone, I'm going to get a new printer.
They make printers so that the actual ink is more expensive than the printer itself, so that people will just buy a new printer. And then now, it used to be that at least you got full-size cartridges when you bought a printer, but now a lot of the printer companies just give you like a half size or like the initial size thing, and so you don't even get a full printer cartridge full of stuff.
Right. So that's one thing you could do. But I think also if you're just asking, so if you bring some paper to someone, if you bought some paper and said, hey, I'm going to use 100 pages of this cheap printer paper, I'll leave you with the rest, will you print it for me? Most people would say yes. Mm-hmm. I think so too. And Apple says, I know ebooks are not for everyone, but for me, a visually impaired person, sorry, I totally took out half that. A visually impaired person, ebooks are a blessing. And you know what I like about ebooks is that I can read without my glasses at night because I make the words larger or smaller. I'm not going to have to buy 17 books. Mm-hmm. So I do that. Oh, Dolores, that's so sweet. Dolores says she pre-ordered and is waiting impatiently. Mm-hmm. I'm sorry. I'm working as fast as I can. She's I promise.
Sun up to sundown, actually beyond sundown.
And saying, I'm looking forward to this book. I am too. And Beck already ordered it. Elizabeth, yeah, we moved the Breville. Usually the Breville stays up here for the summer and I move it in the winter because I'll use the oven. And we have a new oven that has an air fryer function. So I'm trying to make myself test that out. But that is also how I caught my dried mushrooms on fire and made all the alarms go off. I was like, oh, I'll smell.
It was very exciting for,
oh, no, it was not.
quite some time, but I can still hear them in my head right now.
We have not decorated for Halloween yet. We're going to go on a cruise for Halloween. So I am putting, like, I have a bunch of Halloween props out for this. Let's see.
We have some Halloween stuff that just stays out year long anyhow. So.
And that's very true. So if someone came in, they might think that we did it anyhow.
Like your super special pumpkin's been out all year.
Yeah. That's the only reason I'm glad I didn't go to the night market. Right now, there's not a pesto mix. I'm going to have to start cutting it off because it's never going to finish by that time. I keep adding more. Like, after I made the chili, I was like, ooh, I'm going to make a soup chapter. So I have to, so what's going to happen is some things could get added. I still have a few more things that I may add in, but keep telling me things, and there's probably going to be a book too. Because there's no way I love staples. This is my favorite. There's going to be some separate ebooks that come out of this. Like there's a little bit of dairy substitutes, non-dairy milk, a little bit of okara, pulp usage, but I'm going to do a whole book specifically on that too. Thanks Trish. Yeah, I figured Halloween, our Halloween cruise is basically nowhere that we haven't been. We're going to go to Key West and
it's just a little 4-day
Bahamas.
Just a little 4-day. We need to go down and see my parents, and so we thought that would be fun for Halloween this year, just to kind of see what it was like to do Halloween on a cruise.
And they have like a costume party, and there'll still be Scarlet Night. And
Scarlet Night, though, I've heard this is what they did last year, and I hope they do it this year. That the Happenings cast dresses and acts basically like zombies. So I'm kind of excited about that. It sounds like it'll be a lot of fun, and so we'll take lots of video footage and stuff for you guys. But yeah, it'll be fun. It's going to be real fun.
And Dolores says, sounds like a book two is in the works.
Yeah.
Well, and this happens a lot. I have to stop. I have to say no, because then I'm already trying to figure out how we don't have 200 pictures, because you guys don't need a picture for every spice blend. You just need more general pictures, but that are still cool and give you information. I'm not trying to cheat anyone, but I'm also trying not to make you spend so much money printing things out and just having like a little recipe, because those are often little, so I can put 4 recipes.
Right, so instead of having a picture of a little test tube on a page that you have to pay a bunch of money to have printed out or to print out, combining those seems like a much better idea.
Yeah, so we'll see how it all goes. And Jessica says, I have a new stove oven too with an air fryer function. Could you do some specific recipes for the air fryer oven? Would your cookbook times be the same? Okay, we talked about this last time. Is that, think of it this way, you know how they have teeny tiny air fryers, and then now your oven is kind of the biggest air fryer? The bigger it is, the longer the cooking time. Mm-hmm. It's just really that simple. You would still use the same temperatures, and you could start out with the regular times, but the time is going to be longer, because there is no one air fryer time anyhow.
Yeah. But it may not be as long as you think it should be.
No, not for the dehydrated ones. She's being mean to me.
I'm not being mean.
Yes, she is. Oh, hi, Jennifer. It's good to see you. You can't wait to see me either. Oh, this is interesting. You two have so much fun. How do you come up with all these cruise ideas? Well, it's mostly for the other channels. So if you guys are watching and you're not following us on The Plant-Based Explorers, please do. We're trying to get our first 1,000 followers, so every little bit helps.
Yeah, and there'll be some new content coming out this weekend as soon as I get caught up on her book stuff. So
yeah, so one of the pre-order bonus classes is up, and once you pre-order, you're in that class, and she's editing the other one, so you don't have to just watch as much nonsense.
I've been editing it for
good.
Yeah, I've been editing it for a while, and there's lots of just happy conversation that happens that coming into it now, you guys would just be like, what are they talking about? But cutting it out, it makes it nice and trim, and it flows better for you.
Yeah. And Elizabeth, we haven't had time to think of what we're dressing up as. I was thinking earlier, I'm like, we have a big thing of costume stuff, so I may have to get you to get that out of the shed, and we'll look. I
think all the good ones are actually underneath the guest bed.
Okay, we'll pull that out.
I'm going to probably be a pirate, because I already got all the pirate stuff.
Yeah, I don't until I get there, then I'll care. But like, I'm probably even driving to her mom's house, I'm probably going to be finishing up on the book. So, and we'll be putting in edits and different stuff like that. For the cruises, it's because we're doing that channel. So we are doing 3 more cruises before the end of the year. Mm-hmm. One on the Excel, this little Halloween one, and one with a bunch of friends. And those we got some super great deals on through like a buy-sell group. So that worked out well for us. Liz was saying, in the new book, does it explain what to use the spice blends to make? Yes, there will be some of that. And that's one. And Elizabeth, you will, if you're able to and willing, the book is going to come to you. So because you helped me edit the last book, if you help me edit this book, I will, you'll get to tell me where you would like more information. And everybody who's testing will get a chance to go through the edits as well. Okay, and hey Tanya, I see you still need to perfect sweet potatoes. And it can be hard because they're so different sizes. And Tanya, the tip just was, and you might have heard this last time, the smaller the air fryer, the quicker the cooking time. So if you're using an air fryer that's an oven, it's just going to be a longer time. Mm-hmm. How about being a gypsy fortune teller? I like that. I might have the stuff to make that happen.
I think you do.
I might have given away some more clothes recently, though, so I'll have to check.
We'll have to see what you got.
We'll see. A good idea, and you guys can keep doing some more ideas. Okay, so how about we start making this, because it's 30 minutes and we've just been chatting. I'm going to put in a can of black beans. I probably will put the aquafaba in here, but we don't have to.
I got overzealous for those of you just joining us, and I drained the beans prematurely.
My shoes keep untying.
Oh, that's not good. Don't want to trip over those.
Would you like to start mashing the beans?
Sure. Do you want to put the stuff in it, or
let's
just mash?
Start mashing the beans.
I'm gonna mash.
Okay. So, yeah, just a longer cooking time.
Ooh, these are hard to mash.
Yeah. Now this is, and we just lost the other camera. Oh, because I didn't change the thing on it. This is the onion soup dip mix, or the dry, kind of like Lipton onion soup mix, only it's not Lipton onion soup mix because I made it with my own 2 hands. Here we go.
Sorry.
It's okay.
There you go.
All right.
I couldn't get your.
Okay. Here.
I couldn't get your birthday.
No.
I couldn't get your birthday in there.
Well, nah.
It froze.
It's not working, so that's okay. Just leave it.
It's working on this side though.
It's okay. It's not working over here. All right, so we're gonna mash these. You don't have to mash it into like refried bean consistency. You can have a few whole beans in there, but you want to make sure you're getting some moisture. And we're going to also use some quinoa, because I cooked up a pot of quinoa to use. Oh, Shelly said, I love your sausage spice. I just made a batch of sausage and put it in the freezer. Oh, that's great. And you guys, there is a black bean potato breakfast sausage recipe over on healthyslowcooking.com if you would like that. Okay. And so, like any mixes, yeah, I do have a pepperoni spice blend, and it was in another book, but it's going to be in this book as well. I have a pepperoni and Italian sausage blend that I use on pizzas, but you can also use it on other things. Okay, we're going to keep this over here for a second. Okay. Yeah, I think we're going to...
You want to see it?
No.
Okay.
We've got to move forward. We can't move backward. This is the aquafaba from there, so I'm going to put a little bit in there. Right now I'm going to put about half, just to kind of make this a little easier to stir. Will you hand me a wooden spoon?
Sure. Do you have a preference?
No, just a wooden spoon.
That's really a spatula.
That's good.
Okay.
That's perfect. Because it's going to be harder, thicker, and it'll be a little easier to mix some of this up. Okay. You could honestly use refried beans too. If that's the only can you had in the fridge, or if you had some frozen that you made. We might even end up adding some more beans. We'll see. So that's about 1.5 cups of beans. That's about how much, and this is some cooked quinoa. So let's start with 1 cup of quinoa, and let's see what that looks like.
That's the stuff with the little curly tails?
Yeah.
Now, is quinoa like a wheat type thing, or is it?
It's gluten-free, and it's actually not a grain. It's a pseudo grain, because we use it like a grain. Mm-hmm. Actually, I'm going to go ahead and match it up. Well, no, I think 1 cup is good enough. You're writing 1 can of black beans and 1 cup of quinoa. Okay. So that gives us some of this, a little substance. And TS says, could the onion soup mix be used to enhance the flavor of an onion soup? Yeah, you could totally make onion soup with this. But onion soup mix is also often mixed with sour cream, so you can mix it with a plain vegan yogurt and make a dip, or mix it with silken tofu for a dip or a spread. And it was traditionally, I'm looking, here we go, this will work. It was traditionally used a lot in meatloafs for like American households, like in the 50s and stuff. So this is going to be about 1/4 cup. So we'll see if that's going to be enough. All the blends have no salt in them. Okay, so 1/4 cup of that. I'm going to do 2 tablespoons of nutritional yeast. Got some homemade Worcestershire sauce. That's something you're going to be able to make from the book as well. We'll get a little bit of garlic powder, maybe some thyme, marjoram, and smoked paprika, and we'll see how this goes. Let me mix this in a little bit. And we might also put some oats and the rest of this in there just to kind of give it a little more bulk. Instead of cooking it in a loaf pan, which is going to take a long time, I'm going to cook it in more of a casserole dish, thinner. And that will suit my purposes. Sometimes you just need to suit your own purposes. We can, ooh, I think I want to put a little miso in here. Yeah, there's going to be a vegan fish sauce. There's a lot of different things. I think I have the Thai curry paste that are just use miso, but you could make them even salt-free. Let's do, here's a teaspoon. That's a tablespoon. I have like 8 tablespoons. Here we go, here's a teaspoon. I'm gonna do like a teaspoon of miso. And that may give it enough salty flavor on its own. If it doesn't, we can still add some salt or salt substitute. if you don't do any kind of miso, like Dr. Greger, people use miso as a salt. There's been a study that works out okay. Not everybody follows Dr. Greger. Not everybody needs to. So if you are doing SOFAS or following an SOS diet, you could also just not use it. And that's okay too. And also this same thing, if we can patty it, we can make it into a loaf, we can make it into burgers, we can make it into bean balls. Oh yeah. I wanted to put some mushroom powder in it, but as we've heard, my mushrooms met a fateful end, and I had to use the rest of them to make something else I was photoing. But smell that so far.
Oh yeah.
Right? Mm-hmm. And then, let me see, how much was I using?
How much miso did you use?
1 teaspoon. And I'm also, I think I'm going to do 2 teaspoons of Worcestershire. So we'll put some in the topping too. It smells so good.
Worcestershire sauce to me smells a little bit about like steak sauce used to.
Yeah. Well, and the thing is it's often in some steak sauce, and if I remember off the top of my head, I think they both have tamarind paste in them. But I could be wrong about that because it's been that kind of day.
Let's see, did you answer Elizabeth's question about are some of your spices salt-free?
All the spices are salt-free. All of them. And what I prefer to do it that way and to salt after. Well, you know what? There is one that is not salt-free, and that's the scramble, because I'm using kala namak, but there is the option to not use kala namak. Okay.
And Shelley was asking, is lactic acid a necessary ingredient?
For?
Sure. It's not for this.
No, I think it's a really good ingredient. What you can do if you're doing a dry mix, like the nacho cheese that we that we made stuff for the taco potatoes last time, the lactic acid really makes it taste like a fermented cheese, and it's shelf stable. So if you didn't have it, what you could do when you microwave the mix in water or mix in milk, non-dairy of course, you could add a splash of apple cider vinegar instead. In a pinch, it'll be fine, but if you're going to make a lot of the different cheeses and things, it's really helpful. It's helpful to turn okara into sour cream, and it doesn't make it into sour cream. It doesn't actually ferment it. It just gives it the flavors as if they have been fermented, if that makes sense. Is Worcestershire sauce like soy sauce? Nope.
Not at all.
If you've ever had A1 steak sauce, it's closer to A1 steak sauce than it is soy sauce. Right? Ooh, make it a muffin tin. Yeah, we could do that. Let me see what muffin tins I got. We could do that. I don't have any potatoes cooked yet to do that. If you cooked it, okay. You guys, I'm going to have to start paying attention in a minute. Because your mind is like mine, only there's more of you. And Carlene says, I'm really getting excited for the book. I'm really excited too. If you cook them in a muffin tin, how it changes the temperature and time. So if you cook it in a loaf pan, if it's thicker, it's going to cook longer. And what you're going to do is put like a toothpick or a knife or fork in, and if it comes out and it's still got smushy stuff, it's not done yet.
Kind of like a cake, when you would bake a cake and you'd put the toothpick in to see if it was done in the middle. Same thing.
So it's kind of like that. And so muffin is going to be smaller because it's smaller all the way around. And that is kind of an idea, because I was thinking of just kind of making flat. And I don't know, I could still make a sandwich with it. That's what I'm interested in. Aw, Apple says, I like your Worcestershire sauce. I froze a batch in a chocolate chip silicone mold.
Oh, cool.
Interesting. I need to look up the chocolate chip silicone mold because someone was asking me for chocolate chips, and I'm like, I don't want to pipe all those out. So that could be. Will you make a note at the top, chocolate chip silicone mold? Elizabeth says, I love seeing how creative you are with all these ideas. I never know what to make. Well, what started out, I was like, what do I want to make with onion soup mix? I don't necessarily want to go, hey, here's dip for your chips, right? Even though you can make baked chips and air fried chips and all that. I wanted you to think of it a little bit differently. And I was like, I've made a French onion soup mix proper with mushrooms and everything before. And while you can make a soup with this, and in a pinch it would be delicious, I remember my mom buying it to make it with meatloaf.
Oh, the Lipton soup mixes.
Right. This is very similar. It's just no salt.
Yeah. It tastes, it smells just like I remember those packets smelling.
Exactly. And because like the thing is we've kind of learned that convenience food is evil, and some of it is. So I'm not here to argue that, but however, if you know where all this stuff comes from, there's like, oats and spices and...
my mom used to make me that Lipton onion soup, and I used to eat it.
Okay, well, we'll see what happens. Check out Yosemite Sam's pronunciation of Worcestershire sauce. Now I'm going to not be able to say it. Maybe Ponderosa had it and it's their sauce. It could be.
I think so, yes.
It's a common ingredient in steak sauce. Yes. So is also tamarind.
And whatever the red steak sauce was, the kind of orangey red one, that was the competitor of A1.
Heinz 57. Heinz 57 has tamarind for sure.
Yeah.
But in this, I can't remember. I made this a little while ago, and I'm really juggling a lot of recipes every day, so I would have to look it up. But lucky pre-orders, next week you'll have that recipe in your pre-order goodies because we've used it. Mm-hmm. Haha. Worcestershire sauce.
Worcestershire.
I don't know. I wrote it like it sounds. Good point. Kathy says onion dip is great with veggies like carrots. Onion dip is great on everything, and in fact, it's good. Like if you're going to make a little like chickpea sandwich, that's kind of a nice thing. I don't know, Tova. I don't know what a chocolate chip silicone mold is, and I've got it on my list to look it up. Jerry says it's okay to be undercooked. Steam rice with the mixes. Yeah, I mean, so like you could make like an onion flavored rice. I would use the onion soup mix, and then I would use probably either my beefy dry bouillon or my chickeny dry bouillon, and that would make a pilaf. Right? And you could, so there's lots of different ways to use these things. Whisker sauce is what Jill used to call it. Worcestershire. Jeremy, you sound drunk. Go home, you're drunk. No, I'm kidding, he's not.
Worcestershire.
Oh, that's a great idea too, Dolores. Make a hummus with onion soup mix.
Oh, that would be good.
And you could do the same thing, like, because I have a sour cream and onion spice blend. So I have some that are like chips, like Dorito spice blends. That would be great to coat tofu in and air fry, or put on your baked fries or potatoes. But I have like nacho cheese taco, barbecue. There's a few like that as well. So those are kind of fun. So there's over 125 recipes. I think there's going to be 150, but the dust is not settled yet. So someone over 120 for sure. All right. So let me measure some things in, and then I'll answer some more questions. You got all the things I've done?
I do. I just...
oh, good. She's like, I see she has some stuff out, so I'm going to write things down.
I also put a note that you need to add lactic acid to the Amazon list.
Oh, it is on the Amazon.
Oh, somebody said they couldn't find it on there.
Ooh, which list? It should be on... It's on one of my lists, too. Okay, so I'm going to do half a teaspoon of garlic, I'm going to do, and I'm kind of looking over here too. Yeah, I'm going to do a teaspoon of thyme because I want to kind of still give it a little bit of that herbal American feel to it. I'm going to use smoked paprika because I think that gives it a little bit of
How
umami.
much thyme?
1
teaspoon?
Yeah, I'm going to do half a teaspoon of paprika. I did a half a teaspoon of garlic, and I'm going to do a teaspoon of marjoram. Because those are, you could use oregano if you wanted to, or basil, but this is where my loaf love lies. Can you smell?
Oh, nice.
Oh, thanks, Apple. Apple, it might be on the let's make cheese list because the lactic acid and a few other things are there. I'm going to make a list that's just for this book. So everything you need in this book will be there. Not so you'll just buy it through Amazon, because I know some of you are not keen on that. It's okay, but then you can pull it up, whatever store you're in, and find it. That's why I'm doing that. Shelly said she drank my hot cocoa all last winter. And I'm making an option now. The oat cocoa is from Outrageous, and I'm making an option where you can use oat milk powder or soy milk powder in it, so it's not as sludgy. CJ asked for that. It's on my favorites list. Okay, good. I end up putting it a lot of places.
Thanks, Apple. I'll take that off the list.
I really appreciate that. Okay, so let's mix these up. I'm glad you guys are asking questions. I just wish I was a little more, there we go.
I think you're starting to.
You think I'm getting back into the swing of things?
Your brain is kicking in with the food stuff, so.
Yeah, it usually soothes me to both talk to you and to make up food, even though it makes me nervous when I've messed something up to make something new.
You haven't messed anything up.
I set mushrooms on fire.
That was just because you were busy doing 50 things.
But who did the 50 things? I did, so that's my fault.
But it's okay. And you have a new stove, and you didn't know how fast it was going to do that.
I really didn't. And also, the mushrooms didn't feel as dry as they really were. They were oyster mushrooms, which are ones I don't usually use. But I had some that were going bad, and I was going to save some. Someone's going shopping tomorrow. That would be me. Okay. And you could, if you have wrist issues or you have some arm issues, you could pulse this in a food processor and it would take way less time. I like doing it this way because that way I have some chunks, which is something I want.
Is it good?
Here, now.
I really can't.
You can't taste it?
I mean, I taste herby stuff, but I can't picture it hot.
Okay. It's on the right track. You have to trust me. I'm trying to, so tomato powder. If I had some tomato paste, I could use that. Tomato powder is awesome. I bought this one. You can also, if you have a garden, you can like dry cherry tomatoes because those aren't always my favorites. So I would dry those and make a tomato powder. You can buy the dried, not in oil, sun-dried tomatoes and make those into powder. That's not always less expensive. And Marilyn from our group, she cans a bazillion tomatoes, and so she skins them, and then she takes the skins and sets them to the side, dehydrates them, and makes them into a powder.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, she's awesome. So this one I feel like is not as strong as the last one I got.
It's more pink than red.
Yeah, it could be the kind of tomato. But let's use 1.5 teaspoons for right now. And then I'm still going to go ahead and put a little bit of ancho chili powder. Someone emailed me, and if you're watching this, I am going to get back to you. Today has been crazy. About, is there just crazy ingredients that you have to buy on Amazon and in specialty stores or ethnic markets? And there will be some. So like ancho powder you can make yourself, tomato powder you can make yourself, mushroom powder, jalapeno powder. So some of the powders you can make yourself pretty easily. I did do like some ramen recipes and some other dry mixes, so you could leave this out if you don't use salt anyhow, but I have some soy sauce powder and miso powder that I sourced. Lactic acid.
But couldn't you, even if you left them out of the powder, couldn't you add those at the end if you had miso and soy sauce?
Absolutely, absolutely. But mushroom powder is going to feature pretty heavily. So, you want to smell that? And so
What is that?
That is ancho chili powder. I'm going to put a half a teaspoon of that in because I feel like my tomato powder isn't super dark and I have no mushroom powder. So I could have used mushroom powder, tomato powder, ancho powder. All of those will kind of add some of that extra oomph.
Is it for depth?
Depth of flavor, yeah. And I always think of flavors are often kind of this base dark, like the base in a choir. And this would be that. Medium ones, and then usually like vinegars, citrus, those are the bright higher soprano notes. Aw. And Tova says, wait, go up. She has more than one Amazon list. I simply put Kathy Hester Amazon page into my... It should be from the main store. From the main store, I have multiple lists. So sometimes if I do a class in Kathy's Cooking Club, I will make a separate list for it. Like we did a Korean class, so we needed Korean ingredients. Or we did an Ethiopian class and we needed Ethiopian ingredients. But it's not something... That's why there are multiple lists. I try to then go back, things I use a lot, put on a favorite list. Usually I make my own ancho powder. I knew I was going to be really busy, but I grabbed this off of Amazon. It was pretty reasonable. But you can make, on my YouTube channel, I show you how to make your own chili powder. And it's usually significantly cheaper, especially if you have a Hispanic market near you.
Elizabeth was saying she bought the Well You World salsa mix and made it. Do you have a mix that she could just add with some diced tomatoes that could make salsa?
We could do that. I will have an instant salsa recipe and an instant pasta sauce recipe where basically you take a can of crushed tomatoes, put spices in it. So I could put that in. I just feel like that's less of a priority. But I do have those recipes in. So like literally we open up one of those big crushed tomato cans and I just put some herbs
you
in
do
it.
when we make tomato sauce.
Yeah, and we just mix it up. And what gave me that idea is a guy I rented from for a long time ago in New Orleans had a pizza shop literally 2 doors down from me. And that's how they made their pizza sauce. And I was like, that's so smart, right? Okay, see if you can tell now. You can tell. Feel the meatier, right? So
It's not as herby forward now. You taste them, but it's not like in your face like it was before.
yeah.
It has more of a loafy taste.
Now, even though I added miso, I'm going to add just a little bit of salt, I think, to this. Because I do use salt, and I'm going to add a little bit of pepper. So put salt or salt substitute and pepper to taste. Probably 1/4 to 1/2 teaspoon. Oh yeah, and Dolores says we all make oops in the kitchen. Absolutely. I think the thing is that literally I was trying to set up a shot, get that going, because I had all the mushroom stuff set up and I was going to let those toast a minute and add those in. And I thought I would smell them, and the same way that I get lost in this when I'm setting up a scene to take a photo of, I'm like moving dishes and I'm really focused. Let me see. And you could add like walnuts or pecans or something like that. I am thinking, and where I added I probably added a few tablespoons of aquafaba. You could have used water or non-dairy milk. I think this is a pretty good consistency. We're always kind of going for about a Play-Doh consistency. That's pretty good. Let me see if I've got muffin. Yeah, actually, I do. We can make them in these. You want little square ones or little round ones?
I don't care. Whichever is easier to get out.
I don't think it matters. Let's see if I need 2 of these or not. Oh, you know what I should do? Cookie scoop. Let's see how many they make. And let me see if there's more questions. I do make my own mushroom powder. And this is the first time I've ever caught it on fire. Ever. So what I do is, like, I usually get my mushrooms from the Asian market because they're so much cheaper, so I get a big bag. And I rip the stems out. And I go ahead and dry those and use the caps for things. It's not that you can't use the stems, but I don't miss them. And then I put them in a little, will you hand me that container? With the blue? With the blue? Yeah, with the blue.
That doesn't look like blue to me. I'm sorry, that looks like
green.
green.
These are sliced mushrooms I had left over from something. So if I have any kind of leftover mushrooms, I just put them in the dehydrator. And then I keep them in these containers, and when I need to make a mushroom powder, I just put it in the blender or a spice grinder. And Shelly says, it's hard to find sun-dried tomatoes not in oil. Yes. I just rinse them in hot water, but then you'd have to dehydrate them to make the tomato powder, so I would not do that. The tomato powder probably is on my Amazon list. Go ahead and do the search and see, and if not, I'll put it on there tonight. I got another one. I like the tomato flavor was better, but also it came kind of, there was tomato powder all on the outside of the bag, so it was a little bit weird, so that's why I didn't get them again. And then I'll let, you can get sun-dried tomatoes without oil, just dried from Trader Joe's. I've done that before. I think about composing music when making recipes too. Yay, Marilyn, I was just talking about you and you using tomato skins to make your tomato powder. Ooh, Shelly says, I love silicone donut pans that made your pumpkin bread donuts. Ooh, yum. Yummies. All right, I'm going to let Cheryl read this from TS while I am scooping loafage.
Oh, she says, Cheryl, it's because the mix needs the minuscule dried onions that are in the soup mix. LOL. Lipton soup, onion soup mix, and also Campbell's tomato soup in a can were staples when I was sick as a kid. Those are staples in our house too. Also, the Lipton chicken cup of soup, or
oh, I remember that.
Yeah, it was basically just like the onion soup. Sometimes it was in a cup, sometimes it was in a little bag like the onion soup, except it had like these like freeze dried little noodles in it, and freeze dried little pieces of chicken, and then my mom would just put hot water in it, and then instant soup. Literally instant soup.
Literally instant soup, yes. All right, so we're going to add just a little bit of some of this extra in here. I could make a burger patty out of this, but instead I'm just going to get my hands all dirty.
Ew.
And kind of make it. It used to gross me out as a kid when I would see my relatives touch the food like this. Y'all ain't eating it, so it's okay. That's pretty close. Okay, let me wash my hands.
I don't like to touch food like on my hands, like really kind of like freaks me out. It took me a really long time before I could have Ethiopian food without asking the people for a fork, and they'd look at me like I was crazy, but I just couldn't. I couldn't, like, it would just, it would paralyze me. Like, it would creep me out so much. It would just creep me out so much. Like, a lot of times, I used to eat pizza with a fork. She would look at me like I was nuts.
Yeah, I did a little bit. Was that nice? Was that not nice? Probably not nice. Okay, let's cook these a little bit, and then I can't remember. I need to there is a ketchup recipe and barbecue sauce in the book, so we might, but I don't have one made right now. That was on my agenda before the fire alarm went off. Does that mean you have to make ketchup all the time? No. But if you want to, you can, and if you want to it's going to be date sweetened. So if that's something you're into, great.
So it makes six muffin size.
6 half-cup muffins.
Make 6.
So you could double this and probably make a loaf pan.
Cup muffins.
And I've got it on 350, so we'll just put that in here for a little bit.
Bake at 350?
Yeah, let's do a timer for, well, just because of yesterday.
Mean today?
Let's cancel. Let's do timer. Let's do 15 minutes. I think that's too early. But when I'm doing classes too, I put the timer on because there's no shame in using the timer. And also we've been kind of talking about making extras. So I have like 2 cups of dried quinoa cooked.
That's just 2 cups?
That's minus the cup I used.
That's like enough for an army.
It is, but you know what else it's good for? Making crumbles. So I can mix taco spice in here with this. I can mix sausage spice. I can mix pepperoni spice and make crumbles to put on things, and they'll get a little crispy. And
I do love the pepperoni spice ones.
And I can freeze that too.
That would really be like Tostinos. Totinos.
Okay, let's see what we got here. And then, let's see. Oh, hey! Ross Chef Yen is like, in it to win it. You are up so early. You can sleep? Oh, no. I'm so sorry you laid in bed for about 4 hours. That sucks. That is never fun. And Tanya says, my husband eats cookies with a fork and knife. He eats pizza with fork and knife too. Yeah, we do need to go to that Ethiopian restaurant. Hopefully we'll get to do that.
Yeah. Soonish.
Yeah, I really want to. And Jessica says she still eats pizza with a fork until she gets to the crust.
Maybe we can sneak out early to head down and eat lunch there on the way down. Oh, but you'll be teaching. Because it'll be during the week.
About?
Was it the preheat thing?
I'm still getting used to this oven. Maybe. All right, so yeah, and I think Tanya was talking about that too, icing them with mashed potatoes. So you could put like a little icing tip in some parchment paper wrapped up and swirl them. That's really nice. Do I have that scoop in my Amazon store? I think so.
It's an OXO.
It's an OXO half cup. I'll double check because I use it all the time. And that's what I make burgers with. And I was thinking maybe next year there might be a burger book. I got one of those presses where you can stuff them, and I thought that could be kind of fun. And yes, Shelly, I do that too. Date syrup and date sugar, and sometimes even dates at Ross's or TJ Maxx or Home Goods. And Shelly says she has problems eating with her hands at Ethiopian. I'm usually pretty precious about it. Like, I still don't like any of the stew to touch my hand.
Yeah, I do much better when we each have our own and we're not sharing the larger
You mean with other people?
Yeah, because remember we went to that one place all the time, and they served everything that you ordered on one big thing, no matter how many people there were. And you had to kind of share with everybody. And
then they would have their meaty stuff over there. It's
Yeah.
kind of in the bread. That freaked me out.
Yeah, I didn't really like that.
I don't
very
care
much.
what, people can eat what they want to eat, but I just don't want it touching my food.
Yeah.
And there's nothing embarrassing about enjoying eating with your fingers. That's the way humans were started out. We weren't born with a fork, right? Thank goodness for everyone who birthed us. Oh, good. You're so welcome. Rosh Yen says, thanks, Apple. I wonder if it's perimenopause symptoms.
This could be.
That is a symptom. So I will tell you this. When I started getting perimenopause years ago, I'm on the other side, thank goodness. And it can go on from like 2 to 10 years. Like, they don't really know how long it goes. It's just a personal thing. So what I started doing was I would go to bed, sleep for as long as I could. When I woke up at like 2 in the morning, I'd get up and do some work for a couple of hours or 3 hours, then go back to bed and get up when I woke up. And I did change my schedule for that for a while. And actually, even this week, my head was hurt. Well, we've been shifting a little later, but I really had a bad headache a few days ago. And I managed to get to sleep, but then I woke up like at 2 or 3, and I tried to read to go back to sleep, which is my trick that works for me. But honestly, it wasn't working, so I got up, did a little work, and then went back to bed when I couldn't work anymore.
She's still waiting to get cold.
Yeah, I don't know that I'm ever going to get cold. Tanya says, I can't sleep either. I'll be 50 in January, full on perimenopause. Yeah, it is a very, very common symptom. Okay, now I'm trying to remember, did I put any ketchup in here, or do I
There's
need
ketchup. There's ketchup.
in here?
No, there's some in here.
Where? Oh, not where I was looking.
Because I put it there.
Oh, okay. So ketchup, balsamic. This is like a typical glaze, so we can make a little glaze to put on this. We'll use this one. I think I put my good balsamic.
Oh, goodness.
What?
Joanne Canella says, I haven't slept through the night since perimenopause started 15 years ago. I'm past it, but still can't sleep. And then Elizabeth says, surprise ladies, I'm 77 and still can't sleep all night. Oh.
I'm a good sleeper. Like, so for me, it was really straight. So like, when we were in the UK and I was sick, I literally, except for getting up and going to the bathroom, slept for 22 hours. Because I was like, I am winning. I'm getting out of the way so my body can fight whatever this is.
Yeah.
And I can do that too. Like if I did that in the car on the way home. Mm-hmm. I was stressed out because there was a lot of traffic and lots of stop and go, so I couldn't really work.
New Jersey was just like one big giant orange cone, the whole state pretty much.
So I went to sleep and slept for like 5 hours. So like I can do that.
Yeah.
Oh gosh. Marilyn says I'm up for a burger book.
Susan Crow says, I always get a bad headache and have problems sleeping when the weather starts changing. I get headaches when the weather changes. Like if there's a hurricane coming, I'll know if it's going to get close to us because my head will start pounding with the pressure changes. It's just the weirdest thing. Let's see.
Okay, we're going to use brown sugar in this one. I'm going to tell you how you could do it differently.
Elizabeth says, with all these people that can't sleep, we could do a live at 2 a.m. one night.
Except I'm asleep usually.
I'm not, though.
And I did go live one time, like in the middle of the night or something. So this is an organic ketchup, but it does have sugar in it. So that's why I'm going to go ahead and do brown sugar. Those of you who are like, I don't do sugar, Kathy. Why are you doing this to me? Okay. In the book, there will be a ketchup recipe that's date sweetened. At that point, you could just add some date sugar or a pureed date to this. That's how you would change it. So,
but this already has
Is it even open?
stuffs in it.
Oh, it is open. Okay.
I used it the other day.
Well, what do you mean stuffs? Do you mean sugar?
Sugar and,
Yeah, it's salt.
and salt and stuff.
Yeah.
But then when we make the homemade one, you don't have all that stuff in it.
I'm going to put about a 1/4 cup. I'm eyeballing it. Where's my 1/2 cup?
So this is the topping. 1/4 cup.
Yeah. I'm going to make less than I made. I remember making too much for this. So I'm going to put... This is also still hard. I really wish these would... This is supposed to be airtight, but I don't think it's exactly airtight. I'm going to put about 1½ teaspoons of brown sugar in here. I'm going to put 1/2 tablespoon of Worcestershire sauce and 1/2 tablespoon of balsamic vinegar. I know I have a 1/2 teaspoon. Oops, I held it close and I still splattered it everywhere.
Balsamic. Okay.
And use the best balsamic you can. I'm using the thick one that I have. If you have a balsamic glaze, you could use that. If you had a flavored balsamic you wanted to use, you could use that too. And this is just a basic one. We could do a date paste with a little bit of apple cider vinegar. We could add in some tomato paste, put some garlic and onion powder in there. You know, something like that too. I know I need one. I thought this was going to keep it good, but I feel like nothing really works the way I want it to. But to me, this is the easiest glaze that you can make. It's just some pre-made ingredients, and like if you decide, hey, I want to make this, is going to take a minute for the date paste to, or the brown sugar to get a little soft in here, but it will. If you're making sauces like ketchup and maybe you're one person, you can either cut the recipe down or freeze some of it. So let's say I don't use all of this, I could maybe freeze it and put it on a burger. Right? There's just no end to the way you can kind of do things.
That would be good to make like
Ooh.
like a little hamburger steak like thing with that.
Mm-hmm. It's good this way, and I think this will be fine. Do you want to, here, I'll give you, there is going to be some sugar granules. Ketchup, applesauce, balsamic, and maple syrup will be good.
That's good.
Right? So that's pretty easy peasy, and we don't really have to do much to it. And what I will do, especially because that brown sugar is a little harder, is I'm going to put it on and then let it cook a little bit longer.
I think it turned off. I'll get it.
Okay. No, let me see. Because it shouldn't have. Because it's got 5 minutes.
Oh no, it still says convection bake.
Actually, though, it looks like it might be done. Let me see if it's done. Yeah, let's give it another 5 minutes. Actually, maybe and then we'll cook it for maybe another 10 to 15 minutes. I'll clean this up really quick. There's my spray bottle. Because it's sticky. But one of the reasons it's a twofold reason I'm doing these potions and powders live. One, obviously, to give you a little taste of what's in the book. The other thing is that everything doesn't have to be complicated, perfect, and well thought out. And I will tell you, sometimes I feel like it should be. The more stressed I am, the more nervous I get doing this. However, if you let yourself get over that hump and experiment, Just like you're tasting some of this. The more you're tasting and I'm talking to you, the more you taste the next thing, and you have a basis to kind of compare it with.
Yeah. Well, I think it's also cool because by you doing this, then people are seeing what they can do with the staple ingredients that they're creating in the book.
Right. I mean, that's certainly part of it, because
Instead
again,
of just
I'd
going,
love to pay the mortgage. It just makes me excited.
instead of going, oh, look, Worcestershire sauce. What do I do with that? You know? Well,
right.
You can
And-
make this. You can make.
And depending on how things go and how many book sales there are, I might do like a big Q&A, how to use some of the things in there. That might be in it. Like already right now with just the pre-order bonuses, they're worth more than you're paying for the book. Like almost 3 times. So I really do try to give you as much value as I can, which is why I'm doing that. Oh yeah, this is the last of my COVID balsamic, so I'm gonna have to pay like real money for it next time.
I thought you picked up another one somewhere.
Not of this particular kind. This is a brand and a 25-year.
Oh, that's the fancy stuff.
It's the fancy stuff. So while we're waiting on that, do you guys have any questions about what we've done today, what we can do with onion soup mix, what we could do with quinoa? If you choose to not buy canned beans, you can still make a lot of this stuff. You're probably cooking your beans by the pound. And what you can do is freeze them in 1.5 cup, 1 1/3 to 1.5. You know how everything's shrinkflation, and freeze them in that. And then when it calls for a can, you pull that out. So you don't have to buy cans. I do always keep at least 6 to 10 cans of beans in case there's a week that I just can't do anything, and then I've got it. I've got something there. I also keep beans in the freezer. I keep frozen vegetables. And Elizabeth says, that sounds great to have a Q&A about how to use all the spices in the book. I never can think of what to put stuff on. So many spices in the pantry that I don't know what to use them in. And one thing to think, if you just can't think of anything, start back. You can put it on a baked potato. You could add it to chickpea salad. You could put it with your salad dressing. So you could dress your salad with whatever you use, put a little bit on. You could, what's going on?
It's on that leg.
Oh, okay. I heard a beep here too, and I was like, what's going on? It's just counting down the minute. So start where you are. Like, you can sprinkle it on steamed vegetables. You could sprinkle some things on pasta. So let's say we used my taco seasoning blend on the potatoes. So I could make pasta. I could use the nacho cheese mix and the taco seasoning and make taco mac and cheese. And then throw in some steamed vegetables. And if I felt like we needed it, I could drain a can of black beans or any kind of beans and throw that in there. That's a delicious meal. I can tell you right now, I loved my stuffed potatoes for lunch today. They were delicious. Absolutely amazing. And I was thinking, you know, I need to do this more. I really need to do this more because it was so easy just to throw them in here to heat them up. Okay. These are shrinking up a little bit the way I want to. See, they're pulling away from the sides just a little bit. They're still probably going to be a little bit mushy. Yeah, they probably could use some more time. But also, I'm going to just let it cook the same amount of time again. This isn't quite as hot as a metal pan, but be careful.
She can just pick up hot things because she does it so much. It makes me nervous. I would drop it.
And we may even end the live before these are completely ready. We'll see. Because we've been on, I think, for an hour and a half. But basically, I'm just going to be cooking these until they're pretty good. If I'm not going to eat them tonight, because actually I took a picture and we ate some stuff that I had in the picture. So I don't know if we're going to have a full-on meal tonight. I think tonight might be, we could have one of these and one of the half of the potatoes, and that would be a good, snacky. But I want to get a little bit, I just don't want this to bake on too far on the sides where it makes it hard for me. It looks like I'm making like little, those raspberry thumbprint cookies.
It does.
Doesn't it?
Yeah.
I'm like, that sounds good. Okay. All right, so I'm going to put them back in. We'll do them for another 15 to 20 minutes. If it starts looking like a little sad on top, I'll just add some more stuff. I have stuff left. And by stuff, I mean glaze. I am feeling better, so thanks guys for being there.
She is like,
I feel like
I can feel the really happy energy coming off of her right now. So
I was really about to cry before I came on. I was like, today. All right, here we go. Let's get to some exciting questions. Marilyn uses coconut sugar and keeps 7 desiccant packets in the container. And I could do it too. I don't know why I trusted this. It worked before, but maybe this one is getting old. But I'll make it work.
Should have got the Tupperware instead of the Rubbermaid.
No, that wouldn't have worked either. Joanne says, I pre-ordered the book 2 days ago. Will we only get the recipes for the mixes you are demonstrating in the book, or would they be available now?
Mixes you are demonstrating.
Okay, so you're going to get these recipes before the book comes out. Mm-hmm. The book is going to have more than what these 9 lives are going to have. And I think that helps. So 1 class is in there now. Cheryl's almost finished adding the next pre-order class. I am teaching Kathy's cooking club tomorrow. So these 3 lives, Cheryl's going to be editing on Sunday, and then we'll put those in the pre-order materials with those recipes that were used in it.
And those will have the recipes from these. But
the real book with all the stuff in it is not coming out till October 31st. Okay? Does that make sense? And if that doesn't, or I didn't understand your question, will you please ask it again, because I want to make sure that I'm helpful. Tia says, is there an easy way to do a quick soak of beans in the Instant Pot for a recipe later for maybe chili? Yes. Put them in, cover them with water, cook them for 10 minutes, then let them sit for a few minutes, drain, rinse, and then proceed as if they soaked. They won't cook as evenly as if you had soaked them overnight, but it's still, if your stomach gets really upset if you do not soak your beans, it will help. So hopefully that helps. Let me know. Val says a Q&A would be great. You have so many great ideas. Thank you. I have too many ideas for me.
She's really good at Q&As though too, because she's one of those people where it's almost like a trivia game for her. And so when you ask a really hard question, her brain instantly goes and it makes her happy. So ask questions.
Yeah, it really does. I really like questions, and there's going to be some stuff I can't answer.
She can't do trivia, but she can do
I cannot do trivia because I can't remember dates or names.
But
so trivia is a nightmare for me.
But if somebody has a question about something about food, it just, like...
It's the stuff that sticks in my brain.
I can't tell you how many people we've met on our travels because they were confused about some kind of food thing, and Kathy has said, I didn't mean to overhear your conversation, but what you're saying is blah, 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 blah. And then they're always like, wow, thank you. And then we make new friends.
I've been at Barnes & Noble. People were looking at the cookbook section, and then I made a recommendation. So they're like, do you work here? I'm like, no, I'm the book fairy. Or I'll see somebody in the grocery store, and they're looking very confused at some vegan food. I'm like, hello there. Can I help you? Is there any? You know, because it is fun, and it's also hard. I remember how hard it is when you're just looking at stuff and you have so many questions and you can't even really formulate the question you have. And thank you so much, Susan. That's really sweet of you to give us a super chat.
Thank
we
you so much.
appreciate you very much.
I wish we had the confetti.
No,
we need to set that up.
Well, let's just do it.
We there's a button that we can set up that we could push and confetti would come in front of the screen.
We'll work on that. Thanks, Jessica. I'm so glad that you pre-ordered, and we'll try and get as many of these things up as soon as we can.
Yeah.
It's just everything. I can't do all of that and get everything ready for the book. So sometimes things will go a little slower, but there is one class for the overnight oats up right this second.
And if I wouldn't have the doctor appointment today, I would have probably been done with that first one already.
You might have it done tonight.
I will have it done tonight, yeah.
And with those classes, even though some of those recipes for the class are in the book, right now I'm giving you the recipe PDF from the class. So the recipe may be tweaked and improved when you get it from the book a little bit. I'll try and check it, but I'm tweaking as we go right now. And Tova was saying quick soak, just boil for 2 to 3 minutes, shut off heat, and let it soak for an hour. That works too, but you can do it the same thing in the Instant Pot if that makes you happy. But if you're quick soaking for your stomach, you must then get rid of that cooking liquid and rinse the beans. If you don't have any problems with it, you probably don't need to quick soak. Just cook them in the Instant Pot. And if you've got my Instant Pot cookbooks, I have amounts for soaked beans and unsoaked beans. And Tia says those look like the right size for a thick hamburger. Yes, that would work too. And here's a tip for you. Let's say you're making experimental burgers, and sometimes vegan burgers can be mushy, right? That's when you pull out your little nonstick frying pan and you make smash burgers.
She did that one time. It was so good.
Oh, they were so good.
That was the best. Now that's all I'm like, smash it.
Because then it's like crunchy and crispy on the edges. That's really good. Lydia says the only lactic acid I found is liquid. Can I use that in the recipes? I'm not sure, and I don't. Will you email me that and I will look at it, whatever that listing is. It's here. I've got a bag of the lactic acid right now, which I don't usually have. This is the lactic acid that I use. It's Druid's Grove. It's vegan, and it's made from non-GMO sugar beets. Oop, here we go. And you can get that on Amazon. I don't know how much it is for Canada, because I know everything's more for Canada. But usually it's about $8 to $12, depending on the size and all that. And then it lasts for an incredibly long time, because you're usually using a 1/4 teaspoon to a 1/2 teaspoon, maybe a teaspoon in some of these mixes. So it goes a really long way. And Tanya says, yeah, I use Tupperware and I still need the little terracotta bear. Yeah, I should keep it in a glass jar. I had it in this because we were traveling with oatmeal, and that's really why, because Cheryl gets mad if I put too much glass stuff. It's heavier, and then it can break when we're moving things around.
Yeah.
And Tanya says, I use a piece of kombu cooking and soaked beans in the Instant Pot, and I didn't get any stomach upset. Every culture has an herb they use. So we've talked about this several times in Kathy's Cooking Club, and probably on a lot of my lives too. So there's a few things about beans. One, beans are the variable. So how long do black beans cook? I don't know. When were they picked? How long were they in storage before they went to your local Kroger's, and how long were they there? There's so cooking times and things like that vary widely. The other thing is that some people don't get any stomach upsets. Steve Sando from Rancho Gordo Beans stands by, do not soak your beans because you're putting flavor down the drain. He doesn't have any issues with it, and he's a very nice man. if you have a stomach issue, there are undigestible proteins in there. And so if you rinse them away, you are much better off. And also, so bay leaves were a Slavic way with beans. Epazote is an herb they use in Mexico. They use kombu. So there's lots of different ways that you can do that does help with some of the digestion. You have to see what works for you. But I would say, and this is my thing, so what's usually a barrier from people eating beans is their stomach hurts and they get really gassy. And so maybe you do okay with beans, soaked or not soaked. You do less okay than I do, typically.
Yeah.
And so you have to look at your family situation and things like that. If your son, daughter, husband, wife will eat more beans because you soak them and rinse them or something like that, then it's easy enough to do. Oh, okay. Apple says, I can only find liquid lactic acid and you use it. That's great. By adding a touch more. Okay, awesome. And Apple, I may steal that and put it in the book in the foreword as well. And then I'll go, and if you and or Lydia can send me the liquid lactic acid, I'll put that on my list as well. Oh, One Anti-Venom, it's so good to see you. Oh no, Tova says, I have 4 cats too, because TS was saying she doesn't use her stove much because of her cats. One tends to jump on the stove and burn his little paws. Now when I cook, I block off the kitchen entrance with a tall gate. See, there's no way to, we have an open upstairs, so.
I mean, we could maybe put something across
we'd have to
there.
put something here and here, but a cat can jump it. It'd have to go,
ours, they can jump this high just from standing still. So.
They're young. And Lydia says, I always feel better when I hang out with you all. And
thank
you. Me too. Susan says, I use that Instant Pot bean chart often. Yeah, it's nice to have. Is it Tatiana? That's a beautiful name, Tatiana. If it is,
name.
I'm sorry if I'm butchering it. I've been watching these lives all week and just pre-ordered the book. Didn't want to miss the discount. I appreciate that. The link to pre-order the book is down in the description. So depending on if you're watching on your computer or phone, if you go and it'll say something blah, 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 and you click that, then there's a link that has the code for the 25% discount. If that code is gone, that means it is no longer available. Just for future people watching, but I'm pretty sure it's going to go on for a little bit longer. So it'll go on longer than a week, I think, from now. Apple's saying some homebrew stores, like for wine and beer, sell powdered lactic acid.
Interesting.
And we have one of those, so we should go look.
Mm-hmm. Actually, I think we have 2 now.
And Marilyn says she always uses kombu. 2 1-inch squares per pound. It also makes the aquafaba more viscous. And I managed to say that.
I was going to say vicious. And I was like, ooh, how does that work?
and that does make sense too, because a lot of times when you cook, I just throw water in. A lot of times I'm like, it'll all work out. And then you have to reduce your aquafaba on the stove. And Tova says, since you guys love Halloween so much, how come you don't have a black cat? We used to.
We used to have a black cat named Moxie, who was a serial killer.
She was a little bit on the evil side.
She was a slasher. She would just randomly, you'd walk by and she'd be laying there and she'll go.
She was my step cat. Cheryl did not raise her quite properly as a cat, so
she
we
thought
worked
she was a dog for a long time.
Vicious Beans, the title of Apple's autobiography. I love that.
But Freya is
like a silver tabby.
But she used to have a lot more markings, but the older she gets, she's starting to fill in more gray.
Yeah, we'll see.
Dark gray, I think.
We'll see what happens. But she has little white paws. She's super cute.
She's a big girl now.
But we get the cats we're supposed to have. Like, we got Fergus through the cat delivery system.
Yeah.
And he just came here and we fed him as a stray for a while. And then I can't remember if I told you guys this or not. So you guys can decide if I'm crazy or you think I'm just wacky. But so when Max was getting ready to pass, we did decide to use an animal communicator. Because I just kind of wanted to check in with him and have a conversation. And it went really well. And Fergus butted in and said some things. And
Fergus always butts in.
And so then after that, I used her again to kind of, how is Fergus doing? Does Fergus want to be an only cat? Does Fergus want another cat? And I may have talked about this in one live or another. And he's like, when she said, do you want another cat? He went, a girl cat?
But the reason he wanted a girl cat is because he thought he could boss her around.
And we all laughed then because we're all like, we know the woman cat's going to win. And actually we were looking for, and he wanted a gray tabby cat.
He wanted a chunky girl.
A chunky gray tabby is what he said. So we had started going and looking, which is kind of nice. It focused us for looking. And
went to lots of cat cafes.
We went to some adoption events. And for a while I'd been seeing this one cat, Twizzler, but it was a boy cat. I'm like, this is the perfect cat, but it's a boy. And
except he wasn't chunky.
Well,
he was little.
He was little. And then we went to the cat cafe, and then Twizzler was listed as a girl there. And that's Freya's old name.
Well, Freya's second to old name.
Well, yeah. Then we tried to call her Luna, and
she
then
wasn't having it.
The animal communicator said, that's a dog's name. I'm not, because she wouldn't answer to Luna.
She would
so
not.
I was like,
you would say Luna, and she'd go,
I'm like, who's
she talking to?
Is she a special bunny? Is she not going to learn her name? Like, I just wasn't sure. And then one day I'm like, do you want to be called Freya? Because that's the other. And she went, And I said, Freya. And she went, And I was like, okay, Freya it is. So that's how Luna, we do have Luna.
But she's now Freya.
But she's Freya.
Because she refused. Yeah, she was not having Luna. There was just no way she was having Luna.
No, she's like, I know I'm a baby goddess.
She does.
She's a Freya goddess. And what's funny is the goddess Freya also has two orange cats.
That pull her chariot.
And they get along so well.
They do.
Like they play and wrestle and sound like a herd of elephants going up and down the steps. But she's probably more than twice as big as when we got her.
Oh,
they said she was a year old, but
when we got her, she weighed 7 pounds, 6.5 or 7 pounds. She weighs 13.9 pounds, and she is not fat. She is a very muscular, bouncy little girl.
Yeah. Okay, and I see I skipped that, so thanks for answering Apple. But Tova said, is lactic acid always vegan? I assumed lactic always include dairy. And it's like lactic acid is in ferments too. Lactic does sound like it's dairy, which is why I always pull that out and go, it's made from sugar beets. Oh, interesting. One anti-venom says, I use kombu on my beans too, unless I need aquafaba. As an FYI, aquafaba with kombu does not work as an egg replacement. Marilyn, have you had that issue before or no? And I wonder if it's the amount. No, Freya's gray. Yeah. And that camera's off, or we would show. Do you want to put it on? And then I think the little light on it is gone. It's run down.
Yeah, probably.
We got it. Oh, nope.
It probably just times out, maybe.
I don't know. No, I think it's dead. It came on for a hot second. Okay, she's trying to get the phone so we can show you Freya because she's just laying over there. Mango Orange Tabby is my sweet angel boy, but he gets into mischief too. Fergus is really funny because he's like, I own you. You ready? Okay. And try not, yeah. There she is.
Hi, little boo-boo.
Let me get this out of the way. Freya.
She's like, why y'all wake me up?
Oh, look at that pretty kitty. Look at that big kitty. So that's Freya, y'all.
You want to say hi? You want to say hi? No, you don't want to talk? You talk all the other times.
Oh, wait.
Oh, sorry,
Well,
I didn't mean to make everybody dizzy.
If you could have stood there, I was coming to change the camera. We need to learn to work better as a team that way. Yeah, I do have a grain mill, and that's one of the things I want to play with this winter. Now that I see Mango's personality, you probably should have been named Loki. It's never too late.
Thank you, baby.
Cats train us very well. Yes, they do. Baby. She is such a sweet girl. So what's interesting is you can't pick her up because she goes, like, really, like she's really hates being picked up.
Yeah, she does not want to be picked up at all, which is hard because you got to put her in a crate to take her to the vet.
But it's not that she won't let you touch her. Mm-hmm. And in fact, she's very affectionate and lays all up on you in the bed.
Mm-hmm. It's funny because she likes to, like, I pull my knees up and she likes to get in the little bend of my knees at night when I'm laying on my side, just like Max used to.
She's really, really sweet. And she is very affectionate. Like, she'll flop on, you can touch her belly, you can touch her feet, but you can't pick her up and just hold her.
Fergus just came by. He was like, why is she on my camera?
Yep, Fergus.
He does not, he is.
Let's see what else.
He's stomping over there.
Yeah, and Apple has a new kitty. It's been with me, part of my family, for 2 months, and she has us all in line with her wants and needs, as kitties do. She is really pretty. I don't know, Kitty Mommy. I definitely put it on Restream way earlier today.
Yeah.
You'll be able to watch the replay. What we did is we used some of the dry onion soup mix, and we made we made black bean quinoa loaves, muffins, whatever you want to call it. So, actually, I'm just going to put a little bowl out. I'll put it in there. And I can just pop it up out of here, actually. And a silicone mold isn't that terribly hot. And you can feel it and see if it's good enough. I'm going to still get a spoon to get it out, I think. It'd be better if I let it cool for just a minute or two. And we can even put a little bit more. Let me get changed to the on top. I squashed it a little bit. And we can put a little more stuff on top. Would you like to try it? And it might need to cook just a minute or two longer, but I think it's going to be okay. As it cools down a little bit, it is going to still keep cooking.
Ooh, it's hot. That's good.
Yeah?
Mm-hmm. That's very good. It's just temperature hot.
Oh, really good.
Yeah, I was almost going to say a bad word. I was going to say that was bad.
Oh, bad bootied?
Bad booty. That is bad booty.
Yeah, and the little bit of ancho powder in there, you don't taste it as ancho powder. It mixes with that tomato powder and just makes it a little richer.
I like the texture too.
Yeah, I decided not to put oats in it. If you made this and you wanted it a little crispier, I would take some oats and pulse them a couple of times. The quinoa usually bakes up really nice. It gives a little bit of that too.
But I mean, it holds together without that.
Yeah, another thing you can do when you're making some kind of loaf or burger is you can always add flaxseed. If it looks too wet, put some flaxseed in there or some ground chia seeds or psyllium husk. All of those will kind of hold it together like an egg.
So if you used oatmeal, oat flakes, whatever, this would be more of a chewy consistency.
A little more chewy, though I think the quinoa does okay. We would have had to bake this a lot longer as a loaf. With the rolled oats absorb some extra moisture and makes it a little bit crisper.
I wonder if we put it in for a little bit longer, if it'll get crispy in like it is on the edges.
Yeah, another thing we could do is let these, this is the thing, because we're going to heat these up later, so we'll probably eat one each now and some potato. Because I'm going to heat up some of the stuffed potatoes from the other night. These 4, I'm just going to take out and put in a little container, put in the fridge. Then when we heat that up, it's going to be just awesome. But if you wanted it that way now, we could put it in something. If that makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah, toothpick. I'm just touching on it, but yes, that is when the toothpick test should happen. And one anti-venom said, I tried it in pancakes this morning with kombu aquafaba. They wouldn't cook. Also couldn't get them to whip as a meringue. Interesting. I usually use aquafaba more like this, like in a burger, in a loaf, in breads, like quick breads and stuff like that. Marilyn said hers worked okay for her. She used 2 1-inch pieces of kombu for a pound of beans. Oh, and Lisa says, I have a ginger boy that I pulled out from under the motor mount of my mom's van in North Carolina 11 years ago. He's so spoiled. All my fault because I give in to his every want and desire, as every orange boy manages to magically make happen. So it's them. Elizabeth says, I can't wait to make these, and I usually don't make too many recipes. And here's the thing. If you don't have quinoa, but you had leftover cooked rice, I'd swap that out. You don't have black beans, but you have kidney beans, swap it out, right? If those kidney beans are a little wetter than mine were, you might have to put in a little more dry ingredients. That's all. You just kind of try it. Kitty Mama says, I wish I could eat quinoa. It gives me a terrible stomach ache, even if I rinse the you-know-what out of it. I get the Costco pre-rinsed, and it works really, really well. I always feel like if I don't get pre-rinsed quinoa, it's very hard to get that whole layer off. And if you don't, it's disgusting, really. But yeah, you could use cooked millet, cooked barley, any cooked grain, cooked rice, short grain or long grain. It would all work up the same. I would just smush it. And Jeremy says, Cheryl keeps it real. If it isn't good, you will know. Some YouTuber kill me when they say their tasteless dish is no good. It's so good.
No, if you see me sit here and keep eating something, you know that I really like it.
Yeah, the flavors are really good.
The flavor's spot on with this.
And you could kind of go in a little bit and change the texture to suit your needs, like we're talking about. Marilyn said, started using kombu after reading Zoo Denver's book, Aquafaba. She has amazing recipes using Aquafaba. And I have that book. Unless I gave a bunch, I'm giving a bunch of stuff away. Everybody's laughing at Jeremy because they know that's the truth. Cheryl just like, Sometimes at class I'm like, try this. I'm like, oh, thanks. And it'll be something she's just never going to like.
Yeah. I always wonder why you ask me to taste things that you and every other person know that I'm not going to like. But I think it's the factor that you all know I'm not going to like it.
I don't know.
And you like to see what my facial feature is.
But sometimes you like it.
Sometimes I do.
I think that's the thing.
But I think everybody likes to see the look that gets on my face when I have something.
I don't know. You will have to tell her. Tanya says, I use a piece of kombu the size of a quarter maybe for a pound of dried beans. So she uses less than Marilyn does.
What is kombu?
It's a seaweed. Oh. She doesn't like any sea vegetables.
Nope, sorry.
So sometimes there are sea vegetables and things, but there's not usually for her. Jessica says we have 3 orange boys. They are the most wonderful of 6 cats and 3 pit bull rescues. Full house. I bet they're all cuddly.
Yeah.
And Elizabeth, this recipe I will probably post next week because we've got class tomorrow. But Cheryl might write it up and send it to you to look at to edit. If you feel up to it. I know you got in a car accident, so you do not have to do that, but that would get it to you sooner. And TS says, thank you for suggesting that another grain can be used. I'm weird, but quinoa kind of sprouts and looks gross. And you know what? It's okay. It took me a while, but I like the mouthfeel of quinoa, and I like using it as a vegan mint substitute. But here's the thing. So with all the things like the sausage blends, pepperoni blends, taco blends, I can mix it up with that. I can mix it up with riced cauliflower and just saute it in a pan. Either one of those. I could do crumbled tofu, crumbled tempeh. So I could still use these spice blends no matter what my personal preferences are. Tanya hates seaweed, but you can't taste it with that small amount. Yeah, and she has some things that have it in it that she doesn't know. Elizabeth says, challenge accepted.
Like what? Like what?
We eat at restaurants, honey. We eat at vegan restaurants. It could be in all kinds of things. If you don't know it is, then you're fine with it.
Well, okay.
And Lydia says she loves to see your reactions. And one interviewer says, I think I'm using way too much kombu. And maybe? And Joanne says, Cheryl, I don't think they give you food they know you won't like just to see your face. I think they're hoping to convert you to like what they like.
Yeah, that's usually what's happening.
But you do convert to a lot of things.
Yeah, I mean, we kind of just was it Tanya that said that I probably can't be considered a picky eater anymore?
There's a few people that said that. Hey, Monique. But yeah, do you guys have any last minute questions? Because if not, I'm going to put some of those potatoes into the oven air fryer to heat up for Cheryl, and maybe you'll get 2 meatloaf muffins and a potato, living that big life. Because you're going to write that up and send to Elizabeth.
I don't know if I need 2. I ate most of this one. Well,
okay.
I'll eat another one.
It's up to you. No one's pushing food on you, though.
I know. No,
okay.
I'll have another one.
It's up to you. They're small. Like literally 2 would probably be a serving.
Yeah. So.
But you could also pop that thing and squish it on some bread and like make a grilled meatloaf sandwich.
No, I definitely, especially with that stuff, that sauce is amazing. So I would like some more of that on one of these.
And Elizabeth says, falling over laughing at Cheryl, you guys have seriously brought me so much joy this evening. Good. Because now I feel less like crawling up in a corner and crying myself, too. I think that's one of the reasons when Kayla was like, I want you to do these lives 3 times a week. And I was like, oh, how am I going to do all the stuff? But I'm like, but it'll put me in a better mood so the next day I'll be able to get more stuff done. And Tanya says, compared to my husband, you are adventurous, Cheryl. And Val says, don't tell Cheryl what's in stuff. That's what I do.
Pretty much.
Yes. And the thing is, and Tia says, I can smell the sea vegetables through the packaging and can't handle it. Like, to her, it smells like a dirty aquarium.
It does.
Yes, I sent out an email a few hours ago.
If you
about
did not
class.
get that, let me know so we can check your email.
Yeah, if you're in Kathy's Cooking Club and you did not get that email, check your email. And if you didn't, email support@healthyslowcooking.com. There'll be a reminder email that goes out tomorrow around 10. It's going to be at 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Too much flavor.
We were talking about that last night. I'm used to ship bland now.
Oh, like cruise ship bland.
Cruise ship bland.
Aw, and thanks, Apple. And yes, I would appreciate it very much if you guys enjoyed this to click the like button. Just helps more people be able to discover us and hang out with all of us. And obviously, we attract super nice, fun people.
We do.
And if you're not already following the Plant-Based Explorers, please go over there and give us a follow there as well. Ross Chef Yen says Oz doesn't like seaweed either. He's like Cheryl. He'll eat nori, though. but he doesn't like kombu, wakame, or most seaweeds. And nori is the easiest. It tastes the least seaweedish. But I just make some onigiri balls for her if I'm making sushi. Yep, Tova's the same way. Seaweed smells like dead fish to me.
Yep. It does. It smells like a dirty aquarium to me. I don't know. Maybe it's the thing like the beets, where some people, think that the beets taste like dirt. Like I used to think the beets tasted like dirt until I had those golden ones.
Yeah. Jill says seaweed smells like the ocean to me, and it does to me too. I think that's kind of good.
Yeah, I think it smells like Lake Erie more than the ocean.
And Alicia says, could you use polenta instead of quinoa? You could, but if it's if it's like grits consistency, if it's kind of watery, it'll be too watery for this. So you want to cook it drier. But yeah, you could. I would cook it pretty dry, almost like a baked polenta. And Jessica says, is it possible to put the day of the class and the title on the ThriveCart site? We will try to do that. I'm just so behind on this book that...
So on the ThriveCart site, everything is listed in date order. So, the one at the top will be the latest.
The latest one. Or if usually in the past I put dates on them when I've done 3 months at a time, so you know when they're coming and that they're not already there. And then there was a small period of time, I think last year or this year, that I didn't take the dates off, but for years I took the dates off after the class was live to let you know it was live. So it's not impossible, but one of the things you can do if you're on a Mac or a PC, when you're at the page that lists all the classes, you can do Command F on an Apple or Mac, Windows key F on a Windows machine, and then a little find button will pop up and you can search for Spice Bin class or Instant Pot class, and it will take you down and you can go through all of them. So that's helpful to find. I hate lots of nori haters. And Susan loves sushi. I love sushi too. And Jeremy says nothing smells like Lake Erie. I'm sad we will miss you, and I'm excited that your youngest great-granddaughter turns 1 tomorrow. Yay, and it's Thanksgiving, a Canadian Thanksgiving tomorrow too, I think, and I guess maybe what I'll do tomorrow in an email is send out some of my Thanksgiving videos and recipes.
They don't eat the same things.
Yeah, okay. There's some overlap for sure.
Okay.
And Kitty Mommy says I put kelp in my tatbaki. It's supposed to replace the fish, but it doesn't taste fishy to me. A lot of people put kelp or toasted nori in their tuna fish, chickpea salads and stuff. All right, lovelies, we are going to go have some dinner, and I will see some of you tomorrow. And I'll hopefully see all of you on Monday. Oh, Control F? Okay. I thought it was Windows key F, but Control F might do it too.
Yeah, I think they've kind of changed it where Control is like the command key.
I don't have a Windows machine anymore, but it is the command key on Apple, and that's where it's in the same place that the Windows key is. So it used to be Windows key was the main shortcut. Oh, Monday's the Thanksgiving. Then heck yeah, this weekend I'm sending out some Thanksgiving recipes. Okay, Jessica, I hope that helps too. It helps you find things, because I know there's over 150 classes. And don't forget, in the Heartbeat group, Chris keeps an updated list of what recipes are in what class. You can use that and search for the class name.
Yeah.
ThriveCart doesn't have a better way to do it. I wish ThriveCart had on my side, the admin side, I have everything in a year folder, but it doesn't come across.
Yeah, and I'll double check on Heartbeat and make sure that Chris's list is on the side accessible, or a link to it in the Kathy's Cooking Club section.
Yeah. Because I know it's hard. It's hard.
There.
I have to go and look for it too.
It's there, but I know they did some updates, and I don't know if it
Okay.
took it away or not.
Okay, cool. So we'll check on that. Cheryl will check on that because I'm going to be, yeah. I just not even going to think about what my to-do list is. But but Caleb that you guys saw earlier this week, who we've been being accountability partners, my little grandbaby, my Gen Z pal, we've been accountability buddies, and that's helped a lot. But
he brings her so much joy. Just
he's delightful.
he's just always, even when he's mad about something, he's still very calming and soothing.
He's who I want to be. Like, he has the boundaries. Like, no, absolutely not. I will not be doing that. I'm like, I wouldn't have said that when I was 20.
Yeah.
But anyhow, he has a channel too, and he's really hilarious.
Yes.
So maybe next time when he's here, he'll give me permission to share it. But it's awesome. I'll probably be sharing it at some point. Yes, happy Thanksgiving to all our Canadians. And Jessica said I forgot to go to Heartbeat. Great, that should help too. And don't forget, you guys can talk in the Kathy's Cooking section, the people who are in the cooking club. And then there's another place for everybody else to go and talk. So,
And we've turned on the chat feature so that, like, you can look up somebody's name and then click on it and start a chat with them.
as long as you behave.
Yes, but
one person does one thing and then it gets turned off. But so far everything's been good, and I trust all of you that are here now, of course.
Nobody's been stalkery.
And so if anybody ever tries to sell you something on Heartbeat, you need to email and let us know immediately, because we will put a stop to it. But I also know a lot of you are kind of the lone vegans in your area. It's just I didn't turn it off.
No, it's nosy.
Oh, Fergie? Fergie, would you like to say hi to the people? This is our orange baby.
He's a good boy.
Oh.
Yeah, you get to see your adoring people. He's like, what's that? I want to eat it.
You want some lentil loaf? Well, actually some quinoa loaf? Yeah, I don't think so. I don't think it's for you.
You won't like
You wanna
that
go down?
Worcestershire sauce.
Okay. All right, guys. With that, we're going to go have dinner. Thanks for hanging out with me. And I'll be talking to you guys real soon. Just know I'm working on getting all the stuff I can up on the pre-order site as fast as I can, which means it will be slower than usual. But you've got one up there now. You already have a $35 class right now you can get to.
And hopefully by tomorrow morning there'll be a second.
Woo! All right, guys. Talk to you soon. We might go live before Monday, but we'll definitely go live on Monday.
Yep.
All right. Bye.
Bye.